This is a trip of firsts in a couple of ways. First of all, it's the first trip in my new Hemlock SRT canoe, but this is the first time with a load of gear. Then in the other way that this trip is a first is that it's the first post-COVID-19 trip. Actually, I shouldn't say post, because it's still kind of in the midst of the pandemic, but things are starting to open up now, and this is my first outing in, well, almost 3 months, basically. So I'm at the put-in at WHITESAND Lake. I'm going to do about a 40 mile plus loop. I'm going to head across WHITESAND Lake, down WHITESAND Creek, hit the Manitowish River, and then take the Manitowish past Boulder Junction and the Island Lake and close to Manitowish waters. But then from there head up the Trout River and then up Stevenson Creek and across a series of lakes and then back to here. And I hope to finish up, well, today is a Monday, and I hope to finish up on Friday. Got a culvert here at the end of the lake, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this or not. Might be a portage. Guess it looks okay. Pretty tight. No. Thankfully it was passable. Did not have to portage. Thought it was going to be shallow in there, but the water's really clear. So it's deeper than what it looks. So able to shoot right through. And skiing, cross-country skiing, probably snowshoeing. Yeah, looks like a nice trail here. A little bench for people to sit on and look at the creek. So it took me 2 hours to get here and about 5 miles-ish. So obstruction wise, I mean, all I had was one culvert that I was able to go through and 2 beaver dams that I kind of had to shinny over, but nothing that I had to portage. So here we are at Boulder Lake campsite number 2. Got here about 5:30, so I guess that was what, 3 hours and 15 minutes of paddling to get here. Campsite number 1 actually looked a little bit nicer. Downside was it was at the top of a pretty good sized hill, so it would have been, you know, a slog to get all the gear up there. But this one was pretty nice. So now it's about 7:45. I just finished eating supper inside the bug barn, although the bugs aren't too terrible right now. So you can see the new Nemo bug barn. Good size for, you know, a couple people. And then just a little bit, I was gonna camp or sleep inside just the bug barn, but there is a chance of rain tonight, so I didn't really want to risk it. So I did set up the tent. So that's up here in the woods. Okay, today is day 3 of the Manitowish and Trout River expedition. It's 8:30, nice calm sunny morning, pushing off. Today will be all upstream on the Trout River. This is the first obstacle I've come to on the Trout River, other than wind. Well, looks like the last half mile of the bear, not bear, the trout, might have some current today. Now this is far and away the most scenic stretch of the bear. Trout River. Definitely way more current in this last half mile of the trout than there was the rest of the trip. Way more scenic too. I knew at some point I was going to have to make up that elevation I lost on the trip downstream on the Manitowish. Couldn't all be quiet water. Highway 51. I don't think I'm going to be able to power paddle my way up this. So today on the river was I started like right at the end of the Trout River where it dumps into Spider Lake. It left about 8:30 in the morning, and today was all upstream on the Trout River. For the most part, it was very slow current, you know, sandy bottom, couple of lakes to cross. Temperature was in the upper 70s, mostly sunny, so relatively nice day. Some wind, I would say for the most part it was wind aided, so that helped, but it was going against the current. The current was mostly slow until the last half mile. last half mile getting into Trout Lake was definitely fast current and riffles. So a good part of that, I actually had to track the canoe upstream because I couldn't paddle hard enough to go against the current. So now I'm at Trout Lake and camping at Trout Lake #1 campsite. So it's certainly a nice spot here with obviously a picnic table and good campsites. So life is good. All right, it's 8:45 on day 4, pulling out of the Trout Lake #1 campsite. Strangely enough, 2 float planes in a row took off kind of right across from me. They must be land on this island or something over here. I don't know. They were pretty close. Seems like overkill considering there's a major highway that goes by just a mile away. I'll make the crossing over the other side of Trout Lake. Short crossing here at this narrows. There is a loon out there. Probably can't see on the camera. There's a loon like halfway across. That's pretty cool. Now I've got, I don't know, an hour and a half or so to get up to the landing where Stevenson Creek comes in. Well, here's the mouth of mighty Stevenson Creek for what it is. Pretty small. See how this goes. Culvert pretty much right off the bat. Ooh, there we go. Hey, that I don't think he's happy to see me, or she. I have to walk through the culvert, you can see. Well, that wasn't too bad. Actually a trout stream here. I don't have a trout stamp, so I can't fish. Lots of depth here. Boy, it's deep. Good 3 feet deep. That's a good sign. A muddy mess. dynamite. Whew. Good bullfrog action. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera at all. So here's the dam. There's a road up there. It's probably about a 10-foot elevation gain, and then a big pond after that. So just a short portage. Just finished the portage from Stevenson Creek to Pallette Lake. It was about 800 feet, 48 rods, so a little less than 300 yards. It was a very good trail. It's kind of a big uphill, then gradual downhill. I had to do it, well, 3 trips, so five times across the portage. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. Now I'm going to look for a lunch spot. So Pallette Lake's a really pretty lake. One thing I've noticed, that we've noticed a lot in the last couple of years, is the water is really high, so that the trees along the edge are standing in the water and starting to die off and turn brown. So I think it's a phenomenon all over the Midwest with the really high water these days. 8 o'clock on day 5, Friday, June 5th. I'm leaving campsite number 3 on Lost Canoe Lake, just a short paddle across the lake to the takeout. And then I'll hike down Highway K about a mile and a quarter, get to my truck, and come back. And here's the landing at Lost Canoe Lake. As you can see, it's pretty steep climb, to the point where they have kind of this parallel wooden rails thing to slide boats down the hillside. So, but it's only 50 yards to the top, so it's short. So, paddling trip is over. Probably 45 miles-ish altogether. Could have easily done it in 4 days. Now I just have to walk about a mile and a quarter to get my truck.